Okay, so I hope to be able to get through this all. This is a very special unboxing that I have been waiting for a little while. But I am at the office, so if I hear that doorbell, I may have to stop. And this unboxing is on a deck that I have been waiting for quite a while, and I'm really, truly excited about this deck, and I hope that you will love this deck as much as I do, and that you will support this artist, because I'm really excited about her work. Her name is Kit Snicket, Kitsnicket, and I backed this deck on Kickstarter. So let me just show you. I got a wonderful handwritten letter from her, which is amazing. When artists take the time to do that, it's an amazing thing. Before we get started with the art part of it, I do want to tell you ahead of time, and I will post this in the title and everything, that this deck has nudity and is not a light-hearted deck. This is not a deck for children. You do not want to show your children these images. She is a sex worker and kind of uses this deck to talk about the role of where the feminine is now. It's a very super interesting deck though, and I really like it. But it's not for kids. So let me just say that warning ahead of time. This is her card, which please tell me, there you go. And that has her website on it, which she is selling this beautiful deck on her website. So let me just show you a couple of the extras that I'm really excited that I got, which was I got a couple of stickers of some of the cards here. That's the Two of Pentacles, Justice. Like I said, it is, it has graphic nudity in it. And there's the High Priestess. Also with my deck that I got two images from the deck. The first is, has to be my favorite. This is the High Priestess. You can see she is holding the pomegranate in one hand and beckoning for you to come and get closer to the veil with her. She has complete control over the veil, which she has used her robe as a see-through robe to symbolize that she has control over that veil. She's able to walk through the veil. She's able to get what she needs from the other side. So as the High Priestess, she has learned to control that veil, which I adore. The Empress becomes the whore, which again, just a gorgeous image here. And we will talk about it more. I may need to do this in a couple different segments. I'm not sure. This is she has made a zine. She called it a zine to talk about how she came up with the deck ideas and what they mean to her. It is a great little pamphlet to show exactly what what she meant by all of these, which I think is just great. And there's a little bit of an introduction and an acknowledgement at the end. And so it works very well. And then the deck itself comes in a little tin, which I love. I love that there's a tin there for it. It means I can carry it with me and not have to worry about, what happens to the deck, because it's, very well packaged at all times. Now I'm not gonna be able to get it out. There we go. Okay. So, inside is also, if you don't get the zine with it, that gives you more information. There is a little white book that just explains a little bit about how she did the deck. mostly like the suits, where she got the suits from. The roses are coins or pentacles. The knives are swords. Feathers are wands. And the goblets are cups. And then, you know, she just talks a little bit about the court cards and what she has named the court cards, which is the faces, the harlots, the enchantresses, and the partisans. Actually, I have that wrong, sorry. The faces are talking about the court cards themselves. So it is the harlots, the enchantresses, the partisans, and the conspirators. And they go up from page. The harlots are the kings. Enchantresses are the queens. Partisans are the knights, and conspirators are the pages. So she gives you that much information, at least in the little white book, so you can kind of follow along. The deck itself is gorgeous. This is the back of the deck, which is beautiful with the red and orange, kind of the fiery, and it is totally reversible. The gilding on it is like a rose gold finish, which is just gorgeous. That color gold to me is beautiful. That almost coppery rose colored gold is gorgeous. The cardstock itself is a great cardstock. I'm really excited by it because it's thin enough where I think I can riffle shuffle. And it's thick enough that it feels like it's really going to last, which I love. I didn't bring my glasses, damn it. Hang on. Okay. So I wanted to just, before I show a bunch of the cards, I just want to give you kind of her introduction into how she built this deck. She said, I started to work very seriously on the deck in August of 2018, and I'll start with the Fool here. I planned out each card to reflect both the ways that I have come to interpret each card and aspects of my personal experience that relate to those interpretations. This deck is, at its core, an autobiography and an exercise in narrative self-portraiture as much as anything else, but it's important to me to make something that will speak to others as well. Because this deck is meant to reflect not only my experiences, but also my values, it is an anarchist deck. So I have avoided the hierarchical aspects of traditional tarot. The court cards are named the harlots, enchantresses, partisans, and conspirators rather than queens, kings, knights, and pages. The empress is the whore. The emperor is the mistress. Visually, I've taken cues from both Pamela Coleman Smith's famous deck and elsewhere, such as the homage to Artisma Gentilicis, who is a famous artist, and we'll talk about that on the Justice card, which I kind of printed out some information about that because I found it super interesting, what she kind of paid homage to there. And then she says, this is not a safe deck. It is a deck for the end of the world, a deck that shows both the brutality of destruction and the beauty of transformation. It is a deck for outcasts, anarchists, whores, witches, and queers, which I just love. So, 8 minutes in, let's get to it, right? So here's the Fool. And again, keep in mind, this is not a deck for, you know, your little kids. This is not a deck that I would use. I plan on using it on a personal level, and maybe might be one or two people that I might read for this with this deck. The Magician becomes the Sorcerer, which is truly stunningly beautiful. Everything she needs, able to pull from above and below. The High Priestess, we talked about a little bit with the veil there, proving that she can go beyond the veil and pull out what she needs. The Whore, which is the Empress. I know it seems like these are coming across a little dark. They are not quite that dark in real life, but they are. I mean, you can see with the large picture of the whore, you can see that detail a lot better. And let's just, because I really want you to understand her reasonings behind the deck, I'm going to read a couple of these when we get to them. The whore is one of them that I wanted to read her interpretation of what she said about it. Which is, again, the whore embodies abundance and the divine feminine. They have reached a place of comfort, surrounded by money and luxury, by learning to use their beauty and sensuality to create the life they want for themselves. Their inborn femininity is dark, primal, and genderless, but they also have perfected the art of performing the gendered, constructed femininity that is expected of her, a skill that has allowed them to build a rich world around them. Super interesting. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. And the next card is, I love the way she has portrayed this too. So let me just turn the page here. This is the Emperor, which turns into the Mistress. The Mistress stands confidently, holding a crop she has selected from the other tools behind her. Her authority is not derived by force, but is given freely to her by those who choose to serve her. And it is not oppressive, but a privilege based in trust. She understands the great responsibility that comes with her dominion and knows that because she's accepted the power given to her, she must take care to offer care and protection in return. What a great interpretation. Just super interesting interpretation there. For her, the Hierophant becomes the authority. And obviously this is, and I don't blame her, a lot of the Hierophants or the Pope has a negative connotation. So she has chosen to depict kind of the negative connotation of that. While the power of the Mistress is given to her freely, the power of the authority is seized, usually called either the Hierophant or the Pope in traditional decks. The fifth card represents law, order, and tradition. Conformity to established order is death, but there are many traditions one can choose to follow instead. While the two cops seize to impose order on their captive, she follows the tradition of resistance that exists as a counter to every oppressive convention that has ever been and ever will be. Love that. Love it. The Lovers. This is a card I do wish it had turned out a little bit lighter, because the original is a little bit lighter and you can see just that embrace a little bit better. But it is, if you go to her website, you can see just a gorgeous embrace. 7, which is the Chariot, turns into victory. 8, strength. And she, I believe, yes, is on the cover. That's what's on the cover, is her strength card here. The Hermit. Love that. I'm not going to read all of them, guys, because, you know, I want it to be a surprise to you somewhat too, and for you to be able to explore if this is a deck you think you want. It is incredible. This card is one we are going to talk about very quickly. This is the Justice card. And I really need my phone to work in order for you to see this. Okay, so here we have the vaginal walls here actually have dentia. They have teeth. And she has taken off the head. So this card was an homage to the artist that we had talked about, that Artemisia Gentileschi, who painted Judith slaying Holofernes in, you know, this was an homage to that painting, which I'll show you that painting because I had to look it up myself. That is the painting that she's talking about. And you see here Judith taking the head here. And The arms and shoulders of this man almost seem like legs and thighs, and that this would be the vaginal area. So there's a kind of a hint there. And they think that the artist herself was raped and had to endure a trial where she was tortured, and they put tacks in her vaginal wall to see if she had been a virgin. Then she ended up painting this painting, and they think that that had a lot to do with her style of art, that she really decided to show the power of women and that we had more power. And she, I mean, we're talking a long, long time ago, guys. This is the time of Michelangelo. She knew Michelangelo's nephew. And so at that time, it was early 1600s. And so at that time, that was a huge thing. So for her to pay homage to that, I think is a great, great thing. Justice sits half in shadow, smoking a cigarette and looking down at the severed head of a Nazi at their feet. They are unbothered by the gore pooling under the head, and equally unbothered by the gore that splatters their thighs and teeth that line their vulva. They have restored the natural order. The justice card is a reminder that fairness does not come from robes and scales and swords. Fairness is the defense and retaliation against oppression. Justice will not be brought about by the state, whose order is anything but natural, but by individuals using what is available to them. Love, love, love that. That's such a power. This is, to me, a very empowering deck, which is why I like it so much. I'm not going to show every card, but I am going to show at least every major. So here's the Hangman. Again, that self-sacrifice is evident here. And all of the interpretations that I have read from her zine are beautiful and just really make you want to delve into that card. Here's Death. Temperance. Love this. I hope that my phone will. There you go. See her third eye here? Love, love, love. The Devil. Just such a... Her art is stunning. Very stunning. The Tower becomes the Ruin or Ruin. Love that. Just that falling of, look at all the things that she's losing along the way. The Star. And to me, this star here is almost like a plea. You know, like, we have been through so much. Please, let this be a star that I can look up to, that I can count on, that I can wish upon. Really gorgeous. The Moon, where she is blindfolded, sitting next to the bank. The Sun, in the perfect glory of who she is. Judgment becomes resolution. Love that. Look at the owl flying right down. Gorgeous. And the World is one of my favorite cards too. I only could choose two. I may get a print of this one too, because I just adore. Look at, she is dancing with Gaia, which I love. And here, again, I wish they were just a little bit lighter, but such gorgeous, gorgeous art. So the Aces, I really enjoy her Aces. The Pentacles are the Roses, and so that is the Ace of Roses. Just that striking kind of black background there. We only have 10 minutes, so I'm going to go through a little bit quicker here. Really, really beautiful. The 5 of roses, which, you know, that is usually the one with the snow. Look at how beautiful. Really gorgeous. 6, so we're looking at, you know, playfulness, childhood, inner child. 7, 8, I love the use of color in the roses. It's gorgeous. 9, that luxury. And 10, love it. Cats are all over. Love it. The Harlot of Roses. Enchantress. Oh, what a gorgeous image. Look at the bunnies here. And the bud. Oh, I love that. The Partisan. Come on, baby. There it is. And the Conspirator. Really beautiful. Then we go to the swords or knives. Here's the Ace. 2, and she is wearing a blindfold here. And I love the dark cloud up above. And the water coming down, that emotional aspect to it is there. The 3 of Swords, look at how stunningly striking, ugh, beautiful that is. And she has a hood on. So she doesn't even know where it comes from, right? Gorgeous. 4, here's our rest. Love that. 5. 6, that's gorgeous with the long draping cloak. 7, love that. Oh, what a great representation. 8, 9, here's the Nightmare. Beautiful. And 10, whew, powerful, right? Harlot, Enchantress. God, I just love that cloak. The Partisan. And the Conspirator. And then the feathers are the wands. So here's the Ace of Wands. Beautiful with the red. Love that card. 2, 3. All right, I guess I'm going to show all as long as I can go fast. 4, 5. Look at, so here is some chaos in the midst here, some challenges. 6, temporary victory in the battle, not yet the war. 7, oh boy, these are beautiful. 8, look at the motion here, her hair swiping down with those feathers, gorgeous. 9, feeling defeated. Look at, gosh, look at this, the state of the feathers. Oh, just beautiful. And that oppressive feeling, that overwhelmed of the 10. Beautiful. The Harlot of Wands. Gosh, that is gorgeous. I really appreciate her empowering nature of these cards is unbelievably amazing. I can't believe how she can put the empowerment into each card. The Conspirator. And finally, we have the cups or the goblets. There's the Ace of Goblets. Here's the 2. Beautiful. The 3. Wonderful. One of the only cards where they're clothed. So it's just a very, you know, happy-go-lucky friendship, getting together, partying kind of feel. 4. Here's that offering right in front of you, and all you have to do is reach out. You just can't even allow yourself, and in this case she sees it, she's looking at it, and it's almost like, I don't deserve it, I can't do it. Here we have the 5, 6, 7. Oh, beautiful 7. Look at the heart, the castle, the snake, the rose, the blade, candle. Beautiful. 8, walking away and starting again someplace else. 9, come on, phone, I know you wanna. And 10, gorgeous. Harlot of Cups, Enchantress of Cups. Oh, her cloaked figures are just beautiful. Partisan of Cups, and come on, phone. Now you wanna focus here. Good.